Here are the stories we will look at tonight.
Hail causes problems at the airport.
Plus, a new app is making students' lives easier.
But first, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we have team coverage of how Middle Tennessee is showing support. Good evening. I'm Amber Holloman.
And I'm Spencer Collin.
Welcome to EMC News 3. Speaking up may help change your life. News 3's Shannon Elion shows us how lives can change when victims are informed.
Yes, Amber, with October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, there is a better time to talk about domestic abuse. Domestic violence has hit close to home with the recent resignations of MTSU's offensive coordinator, Willie Simmons, and 15-year veteran detective, James Box, this week. Deborah Johnson, the executive director of the Domestic Violence Center in Rutherford County, feels that victims should be aware of what abuse is.
Domestic violence is not about love, it's about power. So anything that takes power away from the victim can be an abusive act.
In the U.S., 1 in 3 women will become the victim of abuse. Domestic violence is a crime. Each year, around 4,000 victims of domestic abuse are killed.
I've known people in those situations, and when they try to leave is when they end up getting hurt, like, the most, killed.
There are support groups out there for victims suffering from abuse. One phone call away and getting some help may save your life.
If you don't do something about it the first time, then of course they're going to know that I can do it the second time and the third and the fourth too.
Abusers get victims to stay quiet about domestic violence too, so talk about it. Tell your girlfriends and your parents what's going on.
Abusers lose control when their victims speak up and seek help. Amber?
The Domestic Violence Center is located at 826 Broad Street, Suite 205 in Murfreesboro. They have a 24-hour crisis line at 615-896-2012.
Middle Tennessee Medical Center doctors and nurses are stepping up their game as a part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Lacey Floyd shows us how they are getting prepared.
Of what to check for when treating patients they suspect may be a victim of domestic violence, but after this month, they will be that much more educated. The hospital held a seminar earlier this month as a part of Health Cares About Domestic Violence Day. This seminar reinforced what they already knew about detecting domestic violence and also went a little more in depth about procedures. Student nurse Stephanie Gilmore learned that it's not just about the physical signs of abuse.
And if they're making appropriate eye contact, if they seem shy and kind of turn away from touch or just being examined in general.
Gilmore knows that sometimes it could be a life or death situation patients are faced with.
I think it's very important, mostly because a lot of patients that have been in a domestic violence situation are very scared to come forth and talk about it, so knowing how to handle that situation could potentially help you save a life.
According to MTMC, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 13 men report experiencing domestic violence in their lifetime. For EMC News 3, I'm Lacey Floyd.
The actual number of domestic violence cases are thought to be even higher since domestic violence often goes unreported.
A flash mob on MTSU's campus was one way to get students' attention focused on domestic violence awareness. News 3's Callie Durham has a first-hand look at the campus organization that is using it to their advantage.
Yes, Amber, the flash mob was definitely a sight to see on campus Thursday as Alpha Chi Omega sorority shed light on real strong women. Alpha Chi Omega's national philanthropy is domestic violence, and with October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Sisters of the sorority knew that they wanted to do something special to help spread awareness, and students watching seemed to enjoy the performance.
I think it was very great. It was a great opportunity to spread the awareness of domestic violence, and I feel like a lot of students out here that witness it are becoming really aware of it.
And for some Alpha Chi Omega sisters like Janet Moore, domestic violence awareness holds a special meaning.
My mother was a victim of domestic violence, and so when I'm able to go there, I'm able to help them like I was able to help her and how she pulled through it, and we're able to get them, so the kids that are going through it or the mothers, to get them through every day and just to show them that people are out there that do care.
1 in every 4 women are affected by domestic violence, and between 600,000 to 6 million women are victims of domestic violence each year.
To report a case of domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233.
Congress recognizes October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but many also use October for breast cancer awareness. While some groups have transitioned to May for their domestic violence awareness activities, official legislation has yet to be made.
Coming up next, a look at a student's podcast,
as well as a look at what's happening around the world.
Plus more when we come back.